we are going to talk on a very particular topic that is very useful to all the people in the society. And before we move into that, we are going to at least introduce ourselves properly to the masses to understand us the more. So I will start with my colleague here. Please, sir, may I know you?
Thank you very much for giving me the portfolio. My name is Victor Sikelebot. I'm from Sutubim local government area. I'm a 200 level student in political science department at Kwai State University, precisely. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, boss.
Okay, I have in my right hand a very prestigious personnel. So I would like to know him. Let him say something to the house.
Alright, thank you very much. I still remain Comrade Miracle Johnson of the prestigious Department of Business Administration 200 level.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome,
you for
sir.
having me, sir.
You're welcome. So I talking. I'm Philip Essen from our own local government. I'm a student in Akwa Ibom State University 200 level political science department. So let's go forward to the discussions of the day. We are going to talk about, we are going to, clarify some doubts that people do have. Some people say school is scam, so we are going to have a word on that. So before we move to that very place, I would like my colleague here to tell us if school is really a scam as people do say. So, Comrade Victor,
Yeah.
what do you say about this idea of people saying school is a scam?
Thank you very much, my Mr. Philip or Comrade Philip. What I have to say concerning this very discussion or the topic is very important to the masses because people saying that school is a scam is trying to polish or to paint education aspect black. And I would not be alive to see that kind of a scenario happening. So for people to say that school is a scam is based on some, resources. There are some courses that make them to say that kind of a thing. If government can make sure that they provide all the necessity that will make education aspect very convenient for the student to to partake, to be a participant. On that very note, I believe that those people will find it fit and pertinent to involve themselves in education because in any education in any country education is always the priority of any student or any youth to educate. So at this point I will definitely tell you that school cannot be a scam but rather school is a very it's a climax that people should start, and by going they will reach their apex, which is at that very point you will be a winner. You can stand up and defend yourself in public, in private, and otherwise if you are educated.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Comrade, my comrade.
Thank you.
I will get back to you, please. Before I get back to you, let me also hear from my old comrade here, Miracle Johnson. So, Comrade Miracle Johnson, how do you see about this perspective of people saying school is a scam?
Well, my very learned comrade, I want to start by saying if you are talking about school being a scam, anyone that says that I think is not in the right frame of mind, actually. So, we all know that the social culture we practice today, education is the number one, that's the priority.
Yes.
So every individual must make sure they adhere to that policy, thereby involving themselves in the educational sector by trying to embrace the new development that has been set in place to make sure they stand out in public because the social culture we practice today, every individual must be confident enough to involve themselves in the different aspects
Yes,
of
and to
life.
express
All
themselves.
right, thank you very much. But let me throw these questions. Don't you think that the why people are saying school is scam is because we have multiples of graduates who could not have a job for themselves after going through a lot of series of education from nursery, primary, secondary, university, and at the end of it all, they will come out without having anything done. I think that's what make them to say school is a scam. So what do you have to say on that?
At this point, I think I should involve myself in answering the question because Why we are having so many graduates, without work or without doing anything, involving themselves in one or two to make their life, comfortable for them as a graduate. It's very simple, bro. If you want to trace it, number one, maybe it's because of the family, like family background, the origin of that very person. You say, okay, that problem can emanate from his own hereditary, like from origin. Why I'm saying so is that some people were meant to be poor, while some meant to be
This
rich.
is very interesting.
If you want to, if
this
you want to
yeah,
liken the
yeah.
realistic theory, that's what he's telling us. That some people were meant to be poor, while some were meant to be rich. So at that very scenario, I think that rich and poor are hereditary. That's where I'm coming
Okay,
from.
I understand your point. I understand your point that some people are meant to be poor.
Poor,
That is to
some-
say, some people are meant to graduate and have a job, while
while
some people are
were
meant to graduate
and still
ride Okada. All right, Miracle Johnson, let me come to you at this point.
Okay.
Don't you think that if government should, and make, or have a structure of work opportunity like employment opportunity for the young graduates, it will, reduce the rate of students.
that's
who give
another
up
thing. That's
from
another thing. Government policy.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
Well, my own point of view on that question is, at some point, you don't really have to depend on government to get something doing. As every productive individual, every productive youth, you have to be creative. You have a skill.
Yeah.
You have something you can present to someone, like, this is what I can do. This is what I can offer.
Exactly.
Because any organization you find yourself, there's a question you'll be asked: what can you bring to the table?
That's it.
And if you can offer something, then that means you are productive enough. So you don't have to depend on government to do everything for you, because government cannot provide for all the masses, because the masses are beyond the government provision.
Thank you very much,
Exactly.
Miracle. Please let us round up this.
I was sorry to interrupt, but I would likely want to add something
Okay,
to what my
okay.
colleague
Yeah,
has
yeah,
said so
yeah,
far.
free, yeah.
Yeah.
You see, my colleague, what you are trying to say, I very I in fact normally understand Shege,
Exactly.
but what I want to add is that as when you are talking about government, I think government has what it takes, to provide for the masses, and for very this topic we are discussing, I think government policy is also included, because when we are talking about government, their very primary job is to make sure they maintain peace and unity in the society, and they are to rule us, and they are to provide the necessary security, infrastructure, and even government
Job
enterprise that
opportunities
will,
and all that.
you will involve and impact their safe.
Exactly.
What I'm trying to say in essence is that government should also do something to make sure they help us the youth, they help us the graduates, because it's very very uncalled for, awful for us to face a lot of things in the university, a lot of challenges in the
yeah.
secondary and even primary. Then after all this, we end up driving Okada, or we end up
After
in the
spending 4
private
years
sector
back in a
that
BSc.
they normally pay us highest is 75,000, 70,000, which is not normal to the graduates. So I think government should also involve themselves to make sure that they make things possible and helpful to the youth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. My comrade Miracle Johnson. Thank you, comrade Victor Obotesika. Please, what we learned today is that students should not really rely on government, because government has many people responsibility they are not after all. Like Nigerian, we have 8 men, we have Boko Haram, we have bandit. All these things are still responsibilities of government. So at the same time, we also, come to a conclusion that government should also try their possible means to, create job opportunity for the young graduates. let these people not suffer all these years and came out riding Okada. Please let government also, like agriculture. We have agricultural sector. We have like farm. They should make all the necessary equipment available for the young graduate. At least they can start from there and so on and so forth and do something. And student as well, if you are a student, please do well to have something that you can bring to the table. Do well to also assist the government by learning some skills and some other things, so that when you graduate you can have something to offer. Because a lot of students, they might graduate first class, second class upper, and first class upper and all that, but if you want to really go into them very well, you notice that they don't have what it takes to be the first class.
Yes.
So students should also be serious in their education.
Education.
Thank you very much. We'll talk about this later, maybe in next edition. Thank you very much, Mr. Uncle Johnson. Thank you.
Thank you for
I'm
having
very
me.
happy having you.
Thank you, sir.
Comrade.
Yes, I remain Comrade Victor.
Thank you.
But
I
thank
talk
very
is
much for-
Comrade Philip Essen. Thank you very much.